Hello everyone, hope you are all doing well and all safe on board and at your homes. This video is in the series of our compilation of MLC rules and regulations, and we have completed 4 titles till now, first, second, third and fourth. Now this will be the last title for MLC, and with this we will cover the MLC completely, what as per the office staff and the shift staff need to know. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video till we are watching this series till now, and hope you will be continuing to view all my further videos also. Let's get into the video. Thank you so much. Take care. Good day everyone, let's dive into the video. Thank you so much for watching my last video which we covered 3 and 4 titles. It was quite a long video. Thank you so much for putting up with me. I wanted to complete it so that it did not have that much content where seafarers and office staff will actually need to do something and understand. It was more of a information sharing or knowledge sharing with you, so that's why I thought I will run a little faster so that we could cover more topics in the coming time. And this video will be our last video. We will cover the title 5 and that will complete our videos playlist on Maritime Labour Convention. I'll put it as a playlist so people can watch in a single stroke from the initial introduction of MLC to all the 5 titles. Okay, let's continue. Compliance and enforcement. Basically, initially there are 5 titles what we discussed. First is how do you get selected, eligibility of going on board. Second is basically your conditions of employment. If you are employed on board, you already gone on board, and what is the conditions you are required. And third is all your accommodation. Once you go on board, what is important is accommodation, welfare, etc. Fourth is again continuation of it. How we need to, what are the requirements on board? What can be. What are the facilities you need to get, how the rooms will be, how the cabins will be, how the toilets will be, all those things about the construction and all those things about the vessel. And fifth is how do you enforce. We are given so much rules, but how do you know whether it is being followed or not, right? So that's very important. Making rules is one thing and getting it followed is another thing, altogether. So that's why the 5th title they given is compliance and enforcement. Flag state responsibilities. Again, as I mentioned, there are 2 players here: flag state and the port state. So flag state is basically who gives the approvals and who gives the certification to that ship. Okay, so those are the people who will be giving issuing your. I've discussed what all documents we will have for MLC on board. One is the Maritime Labour Certificate, which will be issued, and second document is the DMLC. Again, DMLC will have 2 parts: Declaration of Maritime Labour Convention, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is by the flag state of telling the world that how are they going to comply with MLC. Okay, titles 1 to 4, and part 2 is signed by the owner of the company or the technical manager, the MLC owner, basically telling the flag state authorities that how are they going to implement the requirements of the flag state. Okay. So what is the flag state responsibility? They have to issue the Maritime Labour Certificate. Okay. So that's the basic requirement that please, if you are a signatory to the Maritime Labour Convention, please issue the Maritime Labour Certificate after taking the audit and inspection and then issuing the Maritime Labour Certificate. Okay, DMLC should be attached to the MLC. Okay, again that we have discussed. FSI and Port State Control Inspector would ensure compliance of the convention. Okay, FSI is Flag State Inspector, and the PSC is the Port State Control Inspector. Okay, so what is this inspection? What is the difference between FSI and they both are government bodies? Okay, if I'll explain to you, if an Indian flag is inspected by a government authority, that is DG Shipping in India, that is flag state inspection. Okay, port state is where the ship is not in Indian coast, in some other port other than Indian port, and then that country's DG Shipping comes and inspects the vessel. That is port state control inspection. Okay, that is the same thing. It is there. The port state is basically doing the job of the flag state. Flag state is telling to the port state, boss, please note that the ship is not coming to Indian coast, so I am not able to inspect. I am not able to travel to that country and inspect the vessel. So please do it on behalf of me and report to me whether the condition is maintained of all the what are the requirements of MLCs maintained. Please check and revert. Okay, that's basically the job of the port state control. Onboard complaint procedure should be available for grievances. Again, this is very important point which is introduced in MLC, where any grievance on the seafarer should be complied with, and it must be taken to the highest level. Okay, he has all the rights to take it to the highest level possible. Okay, highest level is what? The flag state. Okay, there is no higher level than flag state. He can go to the flag state maximum with this grievance. Okay, first is his department head. If department head is not able to solve, then master. If master is not able to solve, then DPA. If company is not able to solve, then it goes to the flag state. Okay, every seafarer on board will have a copy of the SMS manual which mentions the grievance procedure for that company. Okay, that should mention the contact details of every flag the company owns or the manages, and your flag also, the ship of your flag also will be mentioned, whose contact details will be mentioned, flag state contact details, so that in case of any grievance which is not resolved at any level below the flag state, then you can approach the flag state. Okay, so that is very important for office staff. This sheet needs to be given to all seafarers when they are joining, so please ensure you have this in your joining set, the onboard grievance procedures. And this is not only for Indian flag, it is for all flag, everybody, all seafarers, whoever is joining in what nationality, doesn't matter, all over the world, it's the same rule. You have to get the onboard seafarer grievance procedure. Okay. Port state responsibilities, what we have seen is the flag state responsibility. Maritime labor certificate and DMLC will be checked to ensure compliance. Okay, the maritime, the DG Shipping from that country will go on board and see, boss, you please show me your maritime labor certificate, because this also has annual inspections and expiry, and they should be checking whether it's all valid. And DMLC, they can go through and check randomly, maybe okay, how are they going to comply, which is mentioned. So is that being monitored or maintained on board actually or not? They can check. And if they feel there is something fishy going on board, and he's feelings that they are not disclosing everything, or there is a seafarer who is coming and complaining that, sir, we have not received our salary or something like that, then the DG Shipping of that country can do a full deep inspection on MLC. Okay, that is allowed by the MLC convention, and MLC convention is ratified by all the signatory countries, so the ship or the owner cannot stop that. Okay, so the port state control can do a detailed inspection if he suspects of any deficiency, or any seafarer comes and complains about non-payment of wages or non-compliance of MLC on board. Okay, the ship can be detained in case of sufficient grounds are found. Okay, like for example, we mentioned 12 months. Okay, the contract is there for he cannot be on board for 12 months. So if a seafarer is there on more than 12 months, though the port state control can detain the vessel till the seafarer is repatriated. Okay. Labor supplying responsibility. This is the third you can say stakeholder, biggest stakeholder, who is supplying the labor. Okay, flag state is the person who is issuing the certificate, port state is the person who is checking the certificate, and labor supplying responsibility, basically the countries who are supplying the labors, what are their responsibilities. Labor supplying states should ensure recruiting of CFA is done in an organized manner. That's what we discussed earlier also. They have an RPSL system so that everything is proper. There is no fudging of records. There is no charging of money. Everything, whatever is happening in the recruitment is all as per the MLC convention. Okay. So that is recruiting in CFA is done in an organized manner. Labor supply state should ensure social security measures. What are social security measures? The PF and gratuity. Okay, these are the social security measures where they ensure you pay, they deduct the PF and gratuity and credit to the appropriate account so that your future is secure. Okay, that's it. So that completes our video on the convention, MLC convention, and I'm very sure this MLC convention elaborate video series, the playlist will give you a lot of information of what is labor convention, what is mentioned in the convention. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you like it, please do share with all your colleagues and seafarers and your colleagues in the office. Next topic you can see is what we are going to cover is the collective bargaining agreement. Okay, thank you so much for watching the video and being with me till now. Have a nice day, be safe, take care, follow CAB.